So we have another project that joined recently our Horizon for Proteins group, which is Like a Pro. And I would like to ask Morena Silvestrini to the stage. She works at a technology center in Spain, holds a PhD in chemical sciences with a focus on electrochemistry and electrochemical biosensor for health applications.
Thank you. Thank you. How can I just move the slides? Is this one? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for inviting me to this final conference of ProFuture project. And yeah, today I'm going to present Like a Pro project, and I will try to stay in the time limit I have for the presentation. I must say that yeah, the project started in November last year, so I'm not going to present any results today, but just introduce you main objectives of the project and also the activities to be performed during the next years. So we are 42 partners from 17 countries. 13 European countries and 4 affiliated countries, and we are working together to mainstream alternative proteins and products to make them more available, acceptable, and yeah, to everybody and everywhere. Okay, so we really want to facilitate and accelerate this protein shift, offering a wide range of alternatives to attract consumers' interest. For that, we have set these main objectives. First, we really need to understand what determines the consumer behavior, their needs, their eating habits, their expectations. And from this information, we are going to diversify our alternative proteins and products in order to increase also their availability in European markets. In parallel, we are also going to empower middle food system actors to make alternative proteins an easy and economically viable choice. And as a fourth objective here, we always need to ensure that all the products, all the developments of the projects are in line with regulatory and ethics requirements. So these are our main objectives for the Like a Pro project. So, for that, yeah, we are going to achieve these main objectives and overcome all our challenges through these 4 main clusters of activities. So the first cluster is about food environment understanding. Here we really need to understand what consumers want and need. In this sense, cluster 2 is about the diversification and development of different alternative proteins products. Cluster 3 is looking at engaging middle food system actors in the project, and cluster 4 is about impact and regulatory assessment. So these are main clusters of activities in Like a Pro. So as I've just mentioned, cluster 1 is about food environment understanding and optimization. In this sense, yeah, we already started assessing and understanding what are the key determinants of consumers' choices of alternative proteins. And soon we will start engaging consumers in our project through living labs and intervention behavioral pilots activities. Regarding determinants of choosing alternative proteins by consumers, we already conducted two different systematic reviews. The first one more focused on better understanding consumer attitude, behaviors in the context of their socio-economic position. And in parallel, we also conducted a second systematic review just to see and to understand what are the entry points, the barriers to promote the alternative protein intakes in different food environments. And soon, I just mentioned, we are going to start engaging consumers through living labs and intervention pilots. So In this sense, we are going to engage approximately 3,000 citizens in living labs in 11 European countries, and in parallel, we will engage and involve more citizens in intervention pilots with the main objective of promoting different pathways to design effective food environments that going to facilitate the dietary shift, the protein shift. Second cluster is about diversification and development of the protein products. So we already started optimizing the production of different ingredients from 7 protein sources shown here. We also started assessing and evaluating the protein functionality of those ingredients for food application. And once the ingredients are optimized and assessed and analyzed, we will start with the formulation of the food products that will start next year in February. With that ingredients, we are going to start formulation of different food products that can be grouped in these four groups here, shown here. So we are going to produce power food and drink supplements, meat and fish analogs, hybrid meat products, and convenience food like ice cream, smoothies, and snacks. Third cluster is looking at empowering, as I said, middle food system actors. So we are going to engage stakeholders via co-creation and capability building session, just to get inputs and feedback from them that can be useful for other project activities, and also useful feedback for us to design specific exploitation pathways for our project results. And in parallel, we are also going to involve them in capability building session, just to empower them on how to integrate alternative proteins in food production mainly. And we already engage 15 members of the food actor network, covering 14 groups of the value chain represented from 15 countries, and with good gender balance here. And last cluster is about impact and regulatory assessment. So here we need to ensure that all the products and developments in the project will bring positive changes in terms of health and sustainability, of course. So for that, we are going to perform an analysis of marketability and sustainability of the products we are going to obtain in the project. We will also identify barriers, drivers in different operational environments. We will perform true price assessment of the products, and we also produce nutritional fact sheet. And last but not least, we will continuously monitor regulatory compliance of the products, and also we will continuously ensure that all the project activities are in line with ethics requirements. And this is just a short overview of the safety assessment plan for the project, in which we consider aspects like nutritional factors, microbiological and chemical hazards. We also perform toxicity and allergenicity assessment and absorption evaluation. So here just a few numbers about the project. As I've just mentioned before, the project started in November last year, involving 42 partners from 17 countries. And here the general overview of all the partners involved in the project that are basically covering all the entire value chain of alternative proteins. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Morena. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I saw that you have a lab experience planned. It's in the first task of the project, so it's before you really develop your food product, let's say.
What do you mean with?
In the first task you presented, you need to do some lab experience? So they invite people to come visit?
No, it's not a lab experience, but there are perhaps you refer to the activities with consumers. In this sense, we are going to involve them in let's say the living lab activities, during which we are going to ask them questions, for example, just to know what are their attitudes, habits, and behaviors with food. So that kind of sort of information that we need for the following development of food products in order to adapt our products to their needs. But in principle, we are not going to test any food during living labs activities with consumers. It's just an interaction with them, mainly asking questions. Yeah,
it's not technical, so they will just.
It's not technical, no. But it is sure that at the end of the project, during the pilots with them, we are also planning to taste some of the products that we are going to obtain. Yeah, but just at the end of the project.